Om Shanti. Today, Baba is talking about truth and falsehood also, and Ravan creates the false world, and Baba creates the true world. And that's why Baba is called the truth. But before that, we will read the essence of the Murli today. So, Baba says, sweet children, remember the sweet Father and the sweet kingdom, and you will become very, very sweet. So we don't have to remember God. We have to remember God, my Father. And there is a difference in that, because when I understand and remember that God is my Father, then I am fully aware that I am as sweet as Him. So the child is like the parent. So I don't have to beg for sweetness or virtues or powers. When I remember my sweet Father, I become aware of my own sweetness, because I'm made in the image of my Father. So this is why Baba says, remember your sweet Father and remember your sweet kingdom. Now Baba says that, so Baba primarily asks us to do 4 things, or rather 5 things. First is be soul conscious. Second is be pure. Third is remember your sweet Father. Remember your sweet home, and then remember your sweet kingdom. So basically we have to do these 5 things. Yes. Now today Baba is underlining, remember your sweet Father and remember your sweet kingdom, because when we, so there are various positions we take in meditation. So when we sit in connection, sometimes you remember Baba. So when you remember Baba, you sit before Baba like Baba, and you get in touch with who you are. And when you remember your sweet home, you become detached from this world. And then when you come back, you have greater perspective, and then you can sensibly operate, because attachment makes you lose your sensibility. Now, when you remember the kingdom, what happens? So that's something we will understand today. So when I see myself, or I visualize myself in my future kingdom, living like a deity in the deity world, then I see that my attitude, my vision, my words, my behavior is all coming from a place of purity and spiritual love. Yes, so that's a perfect soul in action. And now we intellectually understand everything. So we understand, yesterday Baba talked about giving regard, and Baba talks about being sweet, and Baba talks about not giving sorrow. And we listen to all of that every day, and we think about it as an idea, but how would that be in action? So when we look at ourselves eating, walking, talking, looking, yes, interacting with nature, with souls in the kingdom, we are able to get in touch with our divinity in action. So that is why Baba says that also remember your sweet kingdom, because you will understand how to be sweet with everything, because there is variety in Satyug also. There is change in Satyug also. It's not like there is no change and when somebody is born, they never die. It's nothing like that. So people change costumes, they take new bodies, and everything in nature also changes from time to time. But how do we operate with that change, or how do we operate with? So, there are children, there are adults, there are everybody, and then Baba yesterday talked about being respectful or being giving regard to children and adults alike. So, in this world, we treat children differently from adults. Yes, so we are very body conscious. So, age is a very big factor here. But in Satyug, age doesn't determine your attitude. So you are giving regard regardless of the age of the person in front of you. So all of these things, when you churn it over and you try to see how you will see in Satyug, how you will talk in Satyug, how you will dress in Satyug, how you will walk in Satyug, so how you will eat in Satyug. So just think about how you will accept your food in Satyug. Will you say, oh, I'm very hungry and just gobble everything up? So you won't do that. So you will eat with, with that attitude of a full soul. So, these days we are hungry. So because the soul is empty. So it's not just food, it's not just power or position or money. There is this attitude of hunger, and then Baba uses this expression in the Murli, "Pet bhara hua hoga." So the soul stomach is full. So so when the soul stomach is full, how do you deal with matter will be very different in Satyug. So that will come from a place of contentment and a place of fulfillment. And Baba says, just remember your sweet kingdom. Do you do so much of churning? So, what do you do in your time? Where do you invest your thoughts, or you just waste them? So, in economics, we are taught investment, saving, and consumption. So, the interesting thing is, spiritual assets cannot be saved. So you cannot save thoughts, save time. It's a vector, it's just coming and going, right? So you cannot keep it in a bank. So you either waste it or you invest it. So you have to do something about it. So when you do something about it, then it is very important to assess whether you are wasting it or making something good out of it and making something elevated out of it. So this is why Baba says that when you sit, you have to remember your sweet father and your sweet home and sweet kingdom. And Baba says, then you will become very, very sweet. Because when you think about that, then there is this law that whatever you do inside, in this inner laboratory, also creates a sanskar. So, sanskars are created through action, and the inner world doesn't know the difference between imagination and reality. So, when you are thinking about Satyugi consciousness for a long time, then you are creating Satyugi sanskars. because your internal machinery is thinking about ideas of Satyug and creating images of how you talk and walk and breathe in Satyug. And then Baba says, when you are operating in this world, your sanskars will start shifting and your actions will start shifting, and consequently, your sanskars will start shifting. So that's how Baba says you will become very sweet. Now, the question today is, by making what effort are you children becoming deities from humans? So Baba says, you are now taking a dip in the lake of knowledge and becoming angels of knowledge. So, there is this legend that when you take a dip in Mansarovar Lake, you will change into an angel. And nobody changed into an angel that we know, but people go and take a dip in Mansarovar Lake. Now, Baba says that it's not that Mansarovar of water, it is this Gyan Mansarovar, which is this lake of knowledge, which is flowing from the ocean of knowledge every day. And when you take a dip every day, you bathe in this water of knowledge, then slowly you start changing into an angel. And yes, we are doing that. So we take a dip in knowledge every day. Yes, and it's interesting how bathing is done every day. So there is no, so nobody has to teach you to bathe every day. When it's about bathing, you do it every day. That we know. So Baba says that by bathing in knowledge, your characters are changing. And it's such a beautiful analogy for what we are doing every day. And yes, this Murli, Gyan Murli is like that taking a dip in that knowledge every day. And by bathing in knowledge, we are changing our characters. And that's for sure. So Baba says, all your defects are being removed just by taking this dip in knowledge every day. And then, sometimes Baba will ask you to scrub a little. So that's manthan. So, so you just, when you just listen to the Murli, that's like taking a dip. And when you also scrub it a little, that's like doing a little reflection on the Murli. And then you're cleaned even more. So this is what is helping us remove our defects. And then Baba says, by remembering the Father and the land of Vishnu, you become pure deities, which we already discussed. And then Baba says, the attraction of the deities is just their purity. So when we take a dip every day and we allow Baba's knowledge to clean us inside out, then Baba says, what will be left? All your defects will slowly be removed. So what will be left is a pure you. And what is so attractive about deities? It is purity. So you minus the defect is a deity actually. Okay, so Baba says, it is because of this human beings are pulled from far away to visit their temples. And just think about it. Deities are no longer alive, so they are not in flesh and blood, but still even their images attracts so much of attention, and they are so attractive because of the purity. So because of that resonance which is left in that environment. So Baba says that is so attractive, and think about how attractive you would be when you change into a deity by taking a dip in this lake of knowledge every day. So this is something Baba says, and today Baba talks about truth and falsehood. So today's Murli is all about that. And so Baba says, you have forgotten the truth, and Baba is the ocean of truth, and that's because of a reason, because we forget the truth. So that ocean of truth has to come to our help. Yes. Now Baba says that Baba uses many examples in the Murli today. So first example that he uses is, Baba says, people say the son of knowledge. So God is praised as Gyan Surya, the son of knowledge. And then they think that this praise is about that sun which shines in the sky. So Baba says they don't understand that God is a separate entity, a conscient being, and He is the ocean of knowledge. And it's God's praise to be called Son of Knowledge. They start worshipping the elements of nature on behalf of God. So, they start saying that God is the sun and God is in pebbles and in stones, and then they start worshipping all of that, but they don't understand that God is not all of this. God is the Son of Knowledge and He's a separate entity. So Baba says the truth is far away from the falsehood. So this is one example. Then Baba says, people do nature cure, but they don't cure their nature. So that's another thing, because I have seen these. So in these ashrams of sannyasis, there are these practices where these days they give you a fire bath and a mud bath, and they give you, I don't know what kind of baths. They give you some fragrance bath and all of that. And I remember there was, this fire bath is very similar to what our parents did when we were children. They just tried to drive the bad omens by lighting a fire and then burning red chilies in it. So it's something very similar to what these days is being done, and they just move a fire over the body, and they say that, okay, the bad omens are going and you are being cleaned, and so that's a fire bath. Okay. So that's so that these are nature cure methods. So, and then there are these methods where people say you detox your body and then your soul will get detoxed and your mind will feel light. So all of those methods are there. So Baba says that's false. So yes, you may feel healthier for some time, or because you believed in that process, maybe you feel light for some time, but that's not going to help you any longer. So it's not a long-term thing. And so Baba says, I teach you how to cure your nature, and people teach you nature cure, and that nature cure is not true. So I would also like to go into what truth and falsehood is. So truth means something that is permanent. So truth doesn't change. So truth is associated with immutability. So truth is immutable. They say it doesn't change. So eternal and immutable is true. So avinashi and aparivartanshil we call in Hindi. So that's eternal and immutable. That's truth. So Baba says these practices are just, very temporary. They are not true. So what is true is what Baba teaches us, and what Baba teaches us today is be soul conscious, pay attention to your purity, remember Baba and remember your kingdom and become sweet. So Baba says the true practice to get rid of problems is cure your nature, not nature cure. Yes, and then Baba talks about the Gita, and Baba says that they have shown God descending into God sitting in a chariot made of wood and talking to Arjuna, and it is Arjuna's chariot. But Baba says that's false. I am not a bodily being. I don't come and sit with my own body in a chariot. I don't have a body, so I take Brahma Baba's chariot as my body and I sit in that. So that's the chariot. So, and this is how God plays his role. And then Baba says people draw pictures of, Brahma emerging from Vishnu's navel. But Baba says that's not true. It's not like Brahma just came out from the navel. So the truth is that after Vishnu takes 84 births, then Shiv Baba descends into that old body and then reminds him that you are Vishnu and now you help me in the process of creation and you be the Brahma now. So Baba says this is the truth. So there are so many things that, and Baba also talks about Holika and the Dilwara temple. So I would like you to read the whole Murli, and when you read it, you will figure out that Baba is talking about many things that we think about bhakti think in bhakti in a certain way, but that's not true, and Baba tells the truth of it. And also, I was thinking about other aspects, like this is about how what we believe in bhakti, but also about, our attachment to. So in the slogan today, Baba is talking about while using all the facilities, be detached from being influenced by them and remain loving to the Father. Now, I don't know whether you are able to do that, because facilities are, and I have seen many children of Baba who come to Baba when they don't have facilities. So, they come as students or they come as people who are not doing very well in the world. And then they get the facilities. So, they start earning an income, or they get what they wanted. And then they thank Baba, but they don't belong to Baba. So, because they are in love with the facilities and the love for Baba is not there. And Baba always says that the moth has to die because of the love of the flame. So that dying, that surrender is no longer there. So, and why this happens is because God has always been perceived as the bestower of facilities. So God has always been perceived as a means to an end. He has never been seen as the end. And that's something which is very false. So the truth is, the soul needs Baba. Yes, the soul and Baba. When the soul is with Baba, the soul doesn't need anything. But we have in bhakti for 2500 years, we have lived with this belief system that the soul needs people, places and things and healthy bodies. And God gives you all of that. So God has become a means to an end and not the end in himself. And now Baba says that you also understand this truth. This truth that It is it is your spiritual stage which is holding everything around you together. So the consciousness in which you are, or the frequency at which you are vibrating, decides what people, places, and things will stick to you. The quality and the quantity are both decided by that. And your external world is resting on your spiritual stage. And your spiritual stage is directly related to your love for Baba. So Baba says, don't lose this, don't go off balance, or don't lose this wisdom. And however attractive people, places, and things are, facilities are, you operate with them, but just know that they are there because you're with Baba. Yes, and there is a very interesting story in the scriptures about this. So it is said that Tridev, Brahma, Vishnu, and Shankar came together to create Ma Durga. And basically, Baba says that I do all the three things, and I am the the one above the Trimurti. And then he creates this. He invokes the divinity within us, and then it is said in the scriptures that when Ma Durga was created, she was very attractive, and then the devils tried to lure her. Yes, so this also happens. So when we are in love with Baba, we become we become fortunate. We become somebody who attracts the best, somebody who attracts respect, everything. Purity is a very big asset to have, and then you sometimes get lost in all of that, and sometimes you start thinking that this is your creation. But it's all coming because of that connection with Baba. So it's very important that you don't don't lose this sight that it's all because of Baba, and you be detached from the facilities and in love with Baba. So, in mythological presentations, fairies are always shown to be, there. So there is a charm in the fairy, and that charm has been given, yes. And then the fairy does something wrong, they lose the charm. So it's something like that. So we are becoming angels or fairies, or we are becoming those who are attracting facilities and everything. But Baba says it's all because of this charm that I'm giving you. So don't forget that. So never lose your love for Baba and never get caught up in anything. So practicing detachment. So when we are with people, places, things, when we are in the workplace, we are carrying out our duties, it is important we take a break and come to the awareness that I am a soul and I belong to Baba, and I have to go back with Baba, and what's important is I take care of my virtues and my state of mind. And it's very important to take these breaks during the day, and that's why we have this system of traffic control. So that we keep coming back to our awareness of who we are and who we belong to and what our aim is. And when you take these breaks during the day, then another purpose that these breaks serve is they make you a detached observer, and then when you are trying to meditate, it becomes easier to detach. And if you're too engrossed in matter and with people, then when you begin to meditate also, you will find it very difficult to detach or unplug from the world of matter. So this is also something I wanted to discuss today. And then there is this gem of knowledge that Baba gives us today. So Baba says today, I will read this out. Baba says, those who are engaged in the service of purifying Bharat are the children. Baba sees but doesn't see those who don't become pure. He feels they will experience punishment and then become cooks in the golden age. Those who become pure will become masters of the world. So, we have to ask ourselves, does Baba see me? Am I the one who is purifying Bharat? Am I using my time, thought, energy, wealth to create a pure world? And if I'm doing that, then Baba sees me. And when Baba sees me, Baba is the ocean and Baba is the Almighty. And when He sees me, I'm nourished by that drishti. So first thing I have to ask myself whether I am that one or I am planning to become a cook in the golden age. Okay, so that we have to ask ourselves first. Second thing is, Baba also teaches us through his action. So if you are doing your bit and then somebody is not doing their bit, do you know how to see but not see? Okay, because this is a very big thing to learn. Because when you are doing your bit and somebody is not doing their bit, you say I should eliminate them from my sphere of the drama. so they should not be here if they are not contributing their bit. But if God cannot eliminate us, we cannot eliminate them. Okay, so God has so many children who are not doing their bit. And and how does He deal with that? He just sees and doesn't see. Because He knows, jo karega so paega. He knows that if somebody chooses to not do, it's okay. It's their loss. And this is the difference between coming from a place of fullness and coming from a place of emptiness. So when Baba says, I am the bestower, He is the bestower. He is coming from a place of fullness just to give. And if you don't take, your problem, not His problem. But when we start or we act like being the giver, we actually want to be the taker. So when somebody is not taking, then we have a trouble, because it's not about giving, it's about expecting something in return. So that expectation is troubling us when we are trying to be just a giver. And Baba says, you work on your soul consciousness, you be in remembrance of me, do whatever I tell you, and if somebody around you doesn't choose to do that, just see but don't see. Because they are creating their fortune. You create yours and focus on yourself. That's soul conscious behavior. And yesterday Baba also talked about setting your record straight. And when you don't give regard, your record suffers. So, regard for whatever anybody is choosing to be or do, that's also there. So, and you see how Baba inspires us or influences us by being himself, being the ocean of love, being the ocean of peace. He influences us. So, if we are also able to see but not see and not be influenced by them, then we will also be able to be ourselves and influence them better. So, but first you check whether I am able to, attract Baba's drishti on me. Because if I'm not doing my bit, then obviously Baba's teachings I cannot hold in my buddhi. I won't have the power. Without Baba's drishti, there is no power in the soul to actually do or become an embodiment of these high teachings. It's not possible. So first, let me check whether I am doing actions which invite Baba's drishti on me. So this is there. And then Baba talks about being essential in the blessing. So Baba says, so there is essence and then there is what we call vistar. So there is expansion and there is essence, or there is essence and there is nonsense. Okay, so there is a lot of things that we think and the way we respond um, when we see something, hear something. So there is a lot of creation going on inside in our thoughts and how we are responding to it, and there is a lot of analysis going on. And Baba says most of it is just ego based and not something about what you need to do in this situation. And when we go into that ego based expansion of how dare they and how could they, and whether this is right or wrong, or whether this is just or unjust or shameful or whatever. So you go into that expansion of it all, and Baba says that depletes you of your energy. And then less energy is available for you to pursue your path to perfection. So Baba says, when you become essenseful, that is, when you see something, hear something, don't go into the why, what, how of it. Just look at what you need to do in that situation and leave it. And then you will have so much energy within you that for yourself, whatever you need to do in terms of self-development or seva, you will have enough resources left and you will never feel I can't do this because I'm running out of energy. Okay, so this is the blessing today. Om Shanti.